dive on into it, man. So what area are you in?
Boston.
Boston. Boston. So
Yeah,
how's the Boston market right now?
it's wonderful. It's sky high right now, but that doesn't scare anybody, and stuff is still selling, so that's always great.
Right on. So are you kind of seeing a wave of, an influx of people wanting to sell, or is it new people coming in wanting to buy? Kind of half and half. Just people are
Yeah,
selling, people are buying, kind of a way in and out.
yeah, I'd say it's probably half and half. Well, less people wanting to sell, but yeah, the fact that I don't know, I'm not sure if there's not many people texting here or what. I seem to have a competitive advantage over people. Everybody is asking me how I'm getting all these, and um, and that's great. Yeah.
Awesome. So how did you get into real estate? Are you a realtor, a wholesaler, a flipper? Kind of how do you get into this industry?
All right, so I'm a wholesaler, but I was like basically just I worked for Allstate. I was selling like homeowners insurance. So like sometimes you'll have like a guy who's always buying a homeowners insurance policy from you because he like flips houses. And yeah, so I started knowing guys who flipped houses. And then after knowing some guys that flipped houses, I had already heard the whole make money on real estate with no money down and all that. And it always sounded so gimmicky to me. I never paid attention to it. I think my mom even bought me a course. Like I remember it was like green and black. It was on like DVDs, but I never like paid attention to it at all. But then after I knew flippers and I heard it again, it was like, oh crap, it made perfect sense now. So I tried it. I started doing RVMs and my phone started ringing and it was time to go.
That's awesome. Do you remember what the name of the course was, or who the coach was?
Oh, I wish I did. He was a cheesy looking dude too.
Cheesy, one of those old ones, the old
Yeah,
maybe 90s kind of suits, the
yeah,
black.
exactly.
Man, that's great, man. Hey, you got a great mom pushing you down to a new path, man. That's pretty awesome. So I think you said you kind of stumbled upon Smarter Contact through another kind of a coach type of influencer in the space. And who was that again?
Antoine Campbell.
And okay, right on. Are you part of his program or kind of just a follower on social media?
Right. I just follow him on social media. You guys did like an interview on his thing talking about the platform and it sounded great.
Nice. Nice. So you said you're doing RVM before you kind of started doing texting. How long were you using RVM until you stumbled upon SMS?
Probably 8 months.
8 months? Okay, wow. And then how is RVM going for you as well? Because I know we're coming out with RVM as well this next month.
Right. I hope, and I want to see the way you guys do it. If it's done the right way, it can be smooth and easy. The biggest struggle for me with that was there was no kind of way to organize it. And I don't want to say like which platform I was using or whatever, but it was like there was no way to kind of organize it. So it was just like basically your phone is just randomly ringing. You have no clue of anything. You can't even see your list. There was no way to even see your list. So I had to like have Excel up on a separate thing and like try
Yeah.
to navigate that way. So that was kind of tough.
Oh
But
yeah.
but it makes the phone ring and if you're a newbie, people will be impressed and your ball will be rolling.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I completely understand that obstacle. A lot of investors have come across that is, especially with RVM, you do the shoot and spray. There's certain softwares where there's, not as much organization or flexibility, especially knowing who's calling you back. But
Exactly.
I know for sure I've done a lot of RVM in the past, so that we will be coming out with trainings that really help you actually solve that obstacle right there, so that when your phone is ringing, you know exactly what list they're coming from, so you can quickly look them up. But dude, that's awesome, man. So since you started with Smarter Contact, what have been some of the results that you've been seeing?
All right. So right away, um, yeah, right away. Got a point. I probably got an appointment the first day or maybe the second day, and and with RBM, I had probably done 20 appointments. I was letting other guys use my RVM because I had like an unlimited service, and so I was really making money off them more than myself because I didn't know what I was doing yet. But I guess by the time I got the hang of it, I had found out about Smarter Contact, and then I was just getting appointments right away, and everything took off very quickly. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how many leads have you kind of been seeing? I know it's hard to calculate. Like if you had to give me an average, a rough average of leads per month, how many have you kind of been getting?
Um, I usually get something that I would call a lead every single day. I usually get one, maybe two that I would call a lead every single day. Some days you don't, but for the most part, every day I'm gonna get a pretty good, strong lead that people are gonna want to hear about.
Nice. And then you got, did you say you got a deal kind of right away?
Yeah,
Or also, yeah.
yeah. So I just kind of tried something because I had heard about creative financing and subject to and all that. And there was a girl who was like 38,000 behind on her mortgage because her husband left her, and she's like stuck with the kids, couldn't pay the mortgage, like a tough situation. And we like really sat down for like hours talking about it on the appointment. And I just kind of threw it out there. Like, if I got a guy to just kind of catch the mortgage up, it would get it off your credit. You could get it off your hands. You could walk away.
Mhm.
And so I set it up as like wholesaling a subject to. And yeah, it worked out.
Nice. And how many deals have you had so far just within those 8 months?
So no, that was 8 months on RVM, and
Oh, okay.
I only did two deals that were like through another guy. I was like basically in that 5% on anything he got from running my RVMs.
Oh,
So I was
nice.
getting the 5% of another guy's deals. Um, so after Smarter Contact, I wasn't dealing. I mean, so post Smarter Contact, that was June. So
Hmm.
you got June, July, August, September, October, 5 or 6 months. Um, so yeah, it took me about a month and a half. Yeah, it took about a month and a half to get that first one, and then boom, second one was about less than a month later. Third one was less than a month later, and I just put one in with the lawyers now yesterday.
Nice. Okay, congrats, dude. That's awesome. That is so awesome. I'm curious, what list did you get your most recent deals from? Like, what
All
were
right,
the, like, foreclosure, absentee, vacant? Tell us about kind of what list you kind of got them from.
got it. So I love pre-foreclosure lists. Even when I do other lists, I love pre-foreclosure. I try to stack it with pre-foreclosure. It's just a good motivation. I know they have that in the back of their mind. It's something they're worried about, and yeah, I love pre-foreclosures. I'm pretty big on vacants. I did my driving for dollars, dirty work. I got my feet dirty and like drove around the grungy neighborhood, scared, people looking at me. I'm like, got on a suit, chill. but um, but yeah, I got plenty of leads that way, and I got contacts at the city. I hit up for Freedom of Information Act requests. So I'm trying to get it done, man.
Man, that's awesome. So how have your conversations been since you kind of started using Smarter Contact? Have most of it been kind of through texting? Has there been face to face? Has it been pretty smooth? Have you faced kind of any obstacles that you've had to overcome as a wholesaler in the game?
Actually, that's the biggest thing about Smarter Contact for me is that it really took care of all that. I find that immediately, just from all right, I got you guys like the text template thing that you guys send out, and it kind of lays out a flow for you, and I didn't really stray very much from that flow. So it sends out the generic, they give you back the yes or the maybe or the how much, and then you give them that reply, and then it's would it be all right if we got on the phone for 2-3 minutes so I can come with a number that works for us both. I let them, I don't call right away. I let them say yes to that. That's like a screening factor for me.
Mhm.
If you don't want to say yes to that, cool. I'm not going to talk to you. We'll eventually talk maybe. You'll go on the follow-up protocol. But so yeah, you do say yeah. We get on the phone and it's like you're ready to freaking talk. You sit there and we talk for 20 minutes with no problem. I started having quality conversations with distressed property owners right away.
Nice, nice. Dude, that's really awesome, man. So I'm curious, how many texts are you sending like a day or per week? And then how many conversations are you getting from the amount of text that you send?
All right, so I got mine down to a pretty good science. So a day, I'm doing about 500. That's on a lower day. I try to do at least 700, about 1,000, between 700 and 1,000. But some days I just do like 500 if I didn't like really prepare my data well or something.
Mhm.
So out of that, I'll usually get on the lower end 40, 50 responses. On the higher end, on a good day, maybe like over 100 responses. And I'd say 70% of them are going to be no, which is great. Those are like people I never had to talk to. I didn't have to waste a single second on. and I know they're a no, and you don't get that any other way than texting. Um, then you got what, maybe 10% are wrong numbers, 20% are wrong numbers, maybe less than 20, but whatever. You got a smaller percentage of wrong numbers, and that's great. You don't find out that this is a wrong number without getting your hands dirty any other way than texting. So then you got your three, four maybes, and you just spend your time talking to them. And you don't get to do that with any other marketing strategy than texting.
Yep, yep. That's so very true, man. So I'm curious. So what motivates you to wake up every day as a wholesaler? Because it seems like you've been in the game a little less than 2 years. Man, what motivates you to get up every single day and be able to be like, hey, this is my day. I got to send out 500 texts, 700 texts, 1,000 texts. Or let's say I'm sure there's kind of been certain weeks where the conversations and leads might have been a little bit slower because everybody goes through that roller coaster. Some weeks are hotter than others. So what keeps you grinding every single week to hit your own personal goals and of course business goals?
Right. It's changed over time for me. At first, it was like my daughter. I got this pretty little girl, and I just want to like take care of my daughter, and that was like an abstract thing. Like, I just know I believe in this. I want to work hard at this so I can like abstractly take care of my daughter. And cool. But then once I start actually making five figures at a time over and over, it was like, what does this actually mean to me? And it's like, I didn't have a lot when I was a kid or whatever, so I don't really care about this money or nothing. But I was always one of like the best dudes. Like I was always the smartest dude in the class. I could always rap better than everybody. I could always like I was pretty good at basketball. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, these dudes that's doing $1 million a year out in Boston, that are impressed by little old me. That's what make me wake up and get it done. Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. That is so awesome. I love hearing that. So if there was one skill set from what you've learned so far, if there is one skill set that I think every investor, wholesaler, doesn't matter if they're new or been in the game 5 to 10 years, that they need to have in this industry or in this game, what do you think that skill set should be based off your experience?
I would say empathy, man. I would honestly say empathy. You're dealing with distressed property owners, and if you can help these people and the ones that are in a good emotional place that want the help, yeah, man, help them. Don't screw them. They'll let you make your money, and like you'll be able to get your money just off of empathy, just off of legitimately seeking to help these distressed property owners. And I think that's the skill that I wish everybody had. Like, it's great to be good at stuff, but the world would be a better place. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. 100%, definitely. So if someone called you today and asked you, hey, Naijeer, what is the best way to get started in wholesaling? What would you tell them?
Honestly, I would tell them, cut the crap. I would say, all right, do you got a driver's license? Go sign up for Uber. For real. You're scared from San Diego. Cool. California comes from. Go sign up for Uber and get out here, man. Save up you $1,000 and go spend that $1,000 on a list and go do some more Uber. Save up $1,000 and get out here and text blast that list you just paid for. You probably get 4 or 5 thousand people with your $1,000. You probably get 3 phone numbers for each one. That's 12,000. That'll get you going, man.
Mhm.
And yeah, do it.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, man, for being on this call. I really appreciate it. This was awesome. I love hearing these stories, man. I love how what motivates you, kind of gets you grinding, and just how quickly you're able to have success through text message marketing, man. I really appreciate it.
Most definitely. I appreciate you guys' platform. Looking forward to seeing what you got coming.
All right, cool.